Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the Green World Sorcerer in Baldur's Gate 3. This is a mod that's now available on console made by WyldsongXXL. This is somewhat like the Sylvan Sorcerer if you played Pathfinder. It's a Druid Sorcerer combination here. Now, what's nice about this is we get some extra spell choices here from the Druid spell list, which solves one of the problems that the Sorcerer has is they don't have a whole lot of spells. So we're going to grab Mage Hand here for the first one. I really like this for a variety of reasons. You can throw health potions. If you're the face of the party, take friends. If not, we can go with something else. Ray of Frost is good for kiting and running around. Shocking Grass can be good if someone gets close range to you. Minor Illusions, okay as well if you want to hide, and you can use this to pull enemies away. And Bone Chill's good for defensive purposes. I'm going to go with this here. And for the cantrip we'll take Shillelagh. It's just really good. Or Shillelagh, depending on your pronunciation. And Guidance is really good, but you might have someone already in your party that can do it. If you do, you don't have to take this, but if you don't, you can take it. I'm going to go with Produce Flame here. Thorn Whip's really good. We'll take that. And then for our spell here at level 1 from the Druid list, Create or Destroy Water is so good because we can cast that as a bonus action and then cast another spell to deal double damage. Now, if you got the Hags here, take your Charisma to 17. Otherwise, 16 will be good, and then we can go with an We'll take our Dexterity up to 16, 14 Constitution, 10 Intelligence and Wisdom. If you want a bit more survivability, we'd go with a higher Constitution and put that to 16, but I like to have a higher Initiative from our Dexterity and also for Armor class. And at level 2, we get a choice of another spell here. We're going to throw Shield into the mix. I guess the Magic Missile is another one that we should have taken and took Chromatic Orb as well. Thunderwave is another good choice too. And for our Meta Magics, Extended Spell is really nice because you can actually do Ice Storm for twice as long for great crowd control. Even other spells, we can double the duration of them. And Distance Spell is great because sometimes you just aren't able to hit a target, and you can now with that. Twin Spell is also really good because you can use Twin Spell on Haste and apply Haste to yourself and one other teammate. That's probably one of the best uses for an action if you have the ability to hold a concentration. Now, once we get to level 3 here, Hold Person is really good, and so is Scorching Ray. That's a good damage option, but we'll go with Hold Person. We also get access to the Druid spell list. Now, Pass Without a Trace is kind of nice because you can actually buff up a team member with this. If you have a rogue and you want to make them really stealthy, take someone with greater invisibility and you with Pass Without a Trace, they can succeed on like literally every stealth check. It's kind of nuts. Spike Growth is another good choice. And for the Meta Magic at level 3, Quicken Spell. Bonus action spell casting. Need I say anymore? It's really good. Level 4 gives us another cantrip here, and I'd recommend grabbing, I guess, Firebolt if you need to explode something. And we'll go Scorching Ray for just pure damage, but Misty Step and Mirror Image are good for the survivability aspect as well. And for the feat, Alert is really nice for the +5 to our initiative. You could also go with the ability score improvement on our Charisma, however. That's another really good choice. And the level 5 Power Spike. I really like Lightning Bolt because we have Create Water, which can double the damage of this, and Counterspell. Those are kind of the two. If we want a damage option, go Lightning Bolt. And then we get a choice from these spells here. Call Lightning can be good because we can continually keep using this as an action. Its damage is a little bit lower, but it's great. Plant Growth is also another good spell. And I actually like Plant Growth because it's crowd control without having to use any concentrations. So you can just pop that down and you can crowd control kind of freely. And then we're going to take Counterspell at this level. Fireball is nice too. Some people really enjoy Fireball, so you could take that alternatively, but I think Counterspell brings better value. And Haste is nice too, because we can, again, if you took Twin Spell, you can Twin Haste to somebody else. Level 7 gives us one of our best spells with Ice Storm here. Although you could go ahead and take it from here, I wouldn't recommend doing that because we get the Woodland Being. This can give us even further crowd control because it's got a summon which can entangle, and it can use the Spike Growth spell, which is crazy. Now, we also have things like Grasping Vine, which are nice, and the Minor Elementals, which you normally don't get access to. That can be pretty strong. Level 8 then gives us another choice in spell here. Confusion for 3 turns can be extended to 6 with Extended Spell, which is kind of funny. And Greater Invisibility is really good for just flat out survivability on somebody or yourself. I'm going to go with Fireball though, just because the damage is nice if there's sometimes a group of enemies in a circle. We're going to go with the Alert feat for the +5 to initiative at level 8 there. And then into level 9, we're going to take Cone of Cold again. When you have Create Water doubling the damage, this potentially can be 128 max damage, which is just crazy damage in a cone in front of you. And we get another spell with Conjure Elemental. Now, there's a lot of synergy here. The Sorcerer normally does not get access to this. This is good because the Water Elemental's main punch can chill the enemy, and chilled means that they take double cold damage. So the Cone of Cold can just completely just destroy people with double damage. Level 10 gives us another cantrip here, and I guess for this one we can go with the Minor Illusion to pull people together for Fireball. And we're going to take Hold Monster, which is like a better version of hold person against certain enemies that it normally wouldn't be able to apply to. You can hold them still, and then your critical hits you get critical hits within 3 meters. It's really good. And for this, we're going to take Twin Spell here. It's really nice for the Twin Haste. But if you have Marka Heshker, you can actually use Twin Spell on that ability, the Chain Lightning from there. It's kind of crazy. We're going to take Chain Lightning. It actually doesn't apply to this Chain Lightning. It used to, but they patched it out. So Global Invulnerability is another good choice I always like. Hero's Feast, really great spell. We may as well take that. And Heal can be nice, but Hero's Feast, if you don't have it on your team already, is such a powerful ability. And then at level 12 here, we get Global Invulnerability, and then we can take a feat and go with something like Charisma Increase. Or you can go down and take Warcaster. Also, at level 6, you get a Dampen Elements. Basically, when you get hit with an elemental attack, you can take half damage and then empower your next attack. Actually, you can't empower attack. You can actually apply this to a teammate. And then at level 11, you get Misty Step, which Misty Escape, basically a passive when you get attacked. You can then turn invisible. And then on the next turn, you can use Misty Step to get away. Now for gear, the Birthright Hat's always nice for the increased charisma. Now, the Hat of Fire Acuity in the early game is great, and actually the best probably hat for this, because Scorching Ray will give you a +10 to your spell save DC, and then you don't miss any of your spells. Now we get the Cloak of Protection, +1 armor class, huge. You can use the Deathstalker Mantle for your Dirge. The Cloak doesn't really matter too much. Late game, Robe of the Weave is best, and I would actually recommend in the early game to use the Potent Robe, or the earlier game. Best available, because you do get light armor. You could use light armor, and actually like things like the Ballast Armor can give you a bit higher armor class. This can be good to set up your teammates with if you wanted to for more piercing damage. But I personally like the Robe of the Weave. Now, since we do a lot of lightning and thunder damage, the Glove of Belligerent Skies here can be pretty good, because with this, you're actually able to apply reverberation on the enemy really easily. Alternatively, you could go with something like the Gloves of Dexterity, because you can then dump that stat and go all in on something else. We could also apply the Daredevil Gloves for close range spell attacks, or the Gloves of Missile Snaring to protect yourself in the early game. Now, we also got the Helldust Boots here to protect us from being moved around. Early game, you could go with the Boots of Stormy Clamor, because whenever you apply a condition, you're able to apply reverberation, and that's really nice for knocking them prone, disintegrating Nightwalkers, or the Evasive Shoes or other good Act 1 items. And I got the Coruscation Ring here to apply Radiating Orbs whenever we deal spell damage, as well the Callous Glow Ring, which can do additional damage on targets before illuminated. And then we also got the Staff of Spell Power here, because this gives us the Arcane Battery, and then we can use Marka Heshker after. The reason being is we get an Arcane Battery here, which is a free cast. So we can then use this on any of our spells here. You could use like a Conjure Elemental. I would actually recommend just sticking with the Water Elemental. In the last patch, they nerfed the Myrmidon. The Water Elemental is better because it can set up double damage for your Cone of Cold. But we also got the reason I wanted to show you this is the Arcane Battery gives you a free casting of Hero's Feast. So we can go ahead, and then after Hero's Feast, our Elemental gets 126 health. So it's pretty good, and you get some camp supplies. This also gives your entire team Wisdom saving throws with advantage, which is really great, and 12 more health points. You can then take Marka Heshker, and it also gives you another free cast, but we could save that for things like Chain Lightning or Globe of Invulnerability. The nice thing about this is it's like a sorcerer when it comes to combat. So all the powerful spells, Quicken Spell, and all that good stuff, but you also got summons, and they're pretty nice. The Woodwode, if you apply Hero's Feast, gets 54 health, and then you get the Dryad having 34 health, which is really nice. Lightning Bolt is a pretty good spell, though, because you can see here, we can hit multiple enemies. If you wanted to, you could start off with a Create Water and then get double damage on everyone if you weren't going to, like, one-shot them. And then go ahead here with your spell, and then, yeah, this is lucky. 6 people in one shot is pretty nuts. So that was good. We apply Radiating Orbs on those that we didn't take out, so they have negatives to their attack rolls. And then what's kind of funny about this is, again, we do have that silly twin spell, Chain Lightning, from the staff ability. So if you wanted to just completely obliterate a target, I would even need an opportunity attack or two to get into a proper position. Misty Step, Misty Escape even better, because you can use this to turn invisible there as a reaction and kind of get away and position yourself with advantage. So then we can use our twinned Chain Lightning here and go ahead with I might do it double across here, 95% chance. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Boom, double Chain Lightning. That took out a lot of targets all at once. Yeah, with mod builds, I don't mind doing some crazy things like that sometimes, just to show off the amount of power that you can do in a first turn. And then with the boots, we got Hellcrawler here, which we can use to just bounce around and do a bit more fire damage. And that exploded and took out another target. And we just have one target left, which could have got taken out by Chain Lightning. And it's got 4 stacks of Reverberation. And then the Dryad's so nice, too, because they can just hold your concentration on Spike Growth there. They'll do a little bit of damage, but the big thing with it is it's just crowd control. The enemies are going to have a hard time with that. I could probably end this all right now with the Water Elemental. Don't forget they do have a Teleport, which is super useful. And then their slam ability can apply chilled, which means your Cone of Cold will deal double damage. We got a critical hit and we applied chill, which is perfect. They might end up dying just walking through that, or they're just going to attack our water elemental. They're screwed, yeah. And they died from that. Didn't even have to take a second turn. The extra summons are really useful on a sorcerer. It's kind of similar with the Divine Soul Sorcerer, which adds cleric spells. Just adding more spells to the already powerful sorcerer makes them a pretty strong class, as you can see there. So yeah, this one also it does have a few other abilities, but no unique spells. So that's kind of what it is there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and download the Green World Sorcerer here by WyldsongXXL.